The 2026 Audi RS7 Performance in Mythos Black Metallic over black interior. 7 different exterior colors to choose from, but only one is free, with 2 different interior colors with an MSRP over 144 grand that we're showcasing. Is this enough of a vehicle for an enthusiast? I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and we're going to touch bases on some pros and cons, because even with all of the performance that you get out of these vehicles, there's still some cons that come into play. Now, this is literally a supercar lifted up, because you're getting great clearance, you're getting the animated feature for your lights, so when you come into the vehicle and you unlock it, it's going to welcome you, because this is that prestige level of accomplishments, meaning you made it. You got something nice, and it does the same thing when you walk away from the vehicle. This doesn't have the black optic package or any carbon exterior package either, so it's going to look a little understated, but it still packs that wide profile with the single frame Audi grille, matrix design LED headlights at daytime runnings, and when you clean your windshield, it also cleans the headlamp assembly. Going into the lower air blade is going to get that dark gray, as well as the front splitter. I don't think it looks too bad. I just know that when I add one or the other of the packages, it makes it look more prestige. House underneath the hood is a true gem, because it's a 4-liter bi-turbo TFSI V8 paired to an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission with standard quattro all-wheel drive. This is getting 621 horsepower with 627 pound-feet of torque, reaching 60 at 3.3 seconds, at top speed at 155 miles per hour with the option to go up to 190 miles per hour, achieving 14 mpgs for the city, 21 mpgs for the highway, with a combined at 17 mpgs. And those numbers are insane. For an enthusiast like me that owns an MC20 Cello, this is a daily vehicle. It's not practical by any means, but it is a hatchback. I could drive this daily, and I don't have to worry about lifting the front because I have 5 inches of clearance, or 133 millimeters. Now, you can option packages like these wheels that we have upgraded, or you can simply tick the box to the black optic package or that carbon package, and it will change out the wheels also. We have these 22-inch 5Y spoke matte gray wheel. So I like that you can get a standalone, because it does make it a little bit more different in the sense if you're trying to save some money and not get the carbon package or the black optic package and you still want it to look aggressive, you can go that route. 10 pistons are in the front with the black calipers. With the 16.5-inch disc reading in the front, or 420 millimeters. The rear is at 14.6-inch. or 370.8 millimeters. So now you have the suspension taken care of. You got your brakes taken care of. Even though we don't have the ceramic brakes, you can add that. I wouldn't add it unless I'm doing track. I don't have it on my MC20 Cello. It's gonna brake fine. 10 pistons in the front, for God's sakes. You got the styling elements, but you are lacking the packages that I always recommend in my reviews. The rear is gonna get the deployable rear spoiler, and that's gonna help with downforce. It will automatically deploy at higher speeds, and you can integrate it in so you can see that fastback design with the LED taillights that wrap around the rear. The lower gets the oval exhaust tips, but you have to add packages to get the exhaust to be a little bit more throaty, which we've ticked the box to. If it was me picking this vehicle, I would tick the box to the black optic package and not worry about the wheels, because it's really only a few $100 difference in price. You're gonna still get a 22-inch wheel upgrade, so you have the styling elements. I would tick the box to the exhaust, because even if you did it aftermarket, you're gonna spend over $1,000, and then you got literally a supercar gem. This is definitely for the enthusiast, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and the like, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more performance vehicles to the channel. Power liftgate going into 24.6 cubic feet of storage. It's a hatchback, which is my favorite, because look how long the opening is. This is more than an SUV in a sports car. It's crazy what you're getting. You get a little storage net here with a 12-volt charger. Underneath the floor is going to get a spare tire. From side to side at 41 inches, from front to back at 46 inches. You get bag holders on both sides with LED interior lights, but unfortunately they did mess up, because you have to go into the back like almost every vehicle nowadays, and you pull the tab right here to fold at a 40-20-40 split or a 60-40 split. And when they're all down, that is going to maximize the cargo capacity to over 6 feet at 77 inches. So you have your SUV alternative, but this is a V8 twin turbo. We need to go inside and start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. 621 horsepower and a ton of traffic. But we're going to show you the performance. We're going to show you what this vehicle can do. As for the ride comfort while you're waiting, it is a smooth vehicle. The steering is a little bit more numb to my liking, but that's happening on pretty much every vehicle nowadays. You really have to go into a vehicle that's post 2020 in order to get something that's going to be a little bit more engaged. But this vehicle, you will feel a lot of engagement with it because of what you're getting underneath the hood of it. And we're going to activate the RS2 mode, so that way you can see what we're about to demonstrate to you. I'm going to start off with the brakes, 10 piston in the front, so it should stop on dime, and it does without any hesitation. Turn radius, we got rear axle steering, so can it get 2 lanes? Gets 2 in a part lane, which is not necessarily bad. We're going to stop right here so you can see the performance. That is a fast car. It definitely ticks the box to an enthusiast all day long. The exhaust note that filters in is amazing. Man, you just want to keep going. That's the only downfall to this. So when it comes into cons, you're going to probably get a speeding ticket because you're going to want to really be engaged with it all the time. And that engagement just gets unlocked. And when you're putting the weight to this, it's just under 6,000 pounds, which is basically right at 3 tons. And it moves around 3.3 seconds according to Audi. I would say it even goes faster. Now, I wouldn't
also use the online recognizer. Please accept the license agreement.
So you do have the voice recognition. So every time I say that, the word Audi, sometimes it will activate that, unfortunately. Now, I would not add the performance that would unlock 180 miles per hour because it's not increasing your torque. It's going to stay at the 627. We did get an increase last year whenever it went to the performance, which is awesome, but this year is more or less a carryover. But what is unique about this vehicle is everything that it captures, because now I'm in comfort mode. I can release my hands. And the vehicle will drive for you for about 0.2 to 0.3 miles. So now you've got the luxury captured, you got the enthusiast captured because of the performance on, or if you take it on the track. You can fit a family in this vehicle, you have plenty of cargo, you can even tow with an RS7 performance. When you go into competition, you can't do those things. That's why this is such a unique vehicle. So is it for the enthusiasts? I mean, it's literally ticking the box to everything. Under 150 grand, more or less a detuned Lamborghini engine, which would be at least double the price of this. And you're getting it in something that you could drive, not practical, but every single day. It does feel wide, but it doesn't feel long. It's quiet because you have acoustic windows and dual pane windows. Now it does have a 48 volt mild hybrid system, which is supposed to help in between the turbos. So we're at 28 miles per hour. And you can go. And now what we're gonna do is put it into dynamic mode, which is what people would be driving this in. I mean, I know I would be at least going about 36. And you have the engagement. It gets a little bit more pulse, so you're gonna feel it a lot more because you're getting the full power out of the engine. And the 48 volt mild hybrid system works in harmony with that, as well as that auto start stop system. So I do like that they implemented, but I wish that the auto start stop would be canceled because it is something that is supposed to be discontinued in the next year or so because the administration has changed it. Overall though, this is definitely the vehicle for an enthusiast, somebody that's looking for a supercar that you can drive daily. It literally ticks the box to both, but let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.